All right, we're live. What's up, party people? Once again, it's Sunny Ray. It's the Sunny Ray Show. Today, I'm joined by Inaki Apestegua. Oh no, I probably did a bad job on the last name.
Apesteia.
Apesteia. Okay, got it.
Yes.
My wife's from
It's
Colombia,
difficult.
so my Spanish is actually getting worse over time for some reason. But my mother-in-law is visiting tomorrow, so I gotta
You have to
practice.
practice. I-
Yeah, big time.
If you we can do 2 minutes in Spanish.
Can we make it the last 2 minutes?
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay.
Let's.
Let's kick off. The first thing, Inaki. Am I saying that even right?
No, it's
Iñaki.
okay. Inaki is okay.
Inaki. Okay, Inaki. So I wanted to ask you one question right off the bat. So you're the co-founder and chief research officer at Crossing Capital.
Yeah.
If you could just give people, a couple sentences, like a high level, 30 seconds or so on that, and then we can dive deeper into some other topics.
Okay, great. Thanks for the intro, Sanya, and the invitation. Well, Corsica Capital is a company that is 5 years old. We are based in Argentina and also in US. And what we do is help people to invest in crypto in the most secure way. How we do it? People get their account in an exchange, and they plug with our platform via through API, so we had the permission to trade their money, but inside the exchange. So they don't have to give us the money, and we cannot withdraw the money. So we are their wealth manager. You can name as that the service. And so we help people to invest in crypto. People that maybe they don't have time, maybe they don't have the knowledge, or maybe they had bad experience. So we are focused on this, and so we solve this issue for a lot of people.
Hey, so like I said, I have a lot of other questions, but let's maybe kick off. We were just you were just going to tell me something about I guess some of the famous people in Argentina, right? You were naming some of them,
Yeah.
and then you brought up Dr. Back's name. Did you want to tell that? You were going to tell me a story right before we started, and I said, hey, maybe let's talk about it right after. We can touch on that, or should we just start with the?
No, I mean that's a good story. I mean, I had been in crypto for a while. I mean, since 2018. So I have had the chance to speak with several people from the ecosystem. Last in 2024, I was in Bitcoin conference in Amsterdam. So you know that Adam Back, he get invitation for this kind of event usually. I mean, he's always in Bitcoin conference in US, and sometimes he's in Bitcoin conference in Europe. So I mean, the one thing that I really like about the Bitcoin or crypto ecosystem is that you don't have many divos. I mean, people that think that it's a rock star and they don't speak to you. I mean, usually everyone is so cool, so friendly. So I was walking on one of the aisle of the venue in Amsterdam, and I saw Adam back there. He was standing there alone, checking his cell phone, and so I came close to him and said, I mean, first of all, Adam, I want to congratulate you because of your career and what you have built or have helped to build uh, in terms of Bitcoin. So he was really humble. He said, "Oh, thank you, man. I mean, that's a really good compliment. Where are you from? I am from Argentina." And he said, "Come on, Argentina! I had so many friends there." He had never been in Argentina, but he's really aware of the people that helped to develop Bitcoin from Argentina. I mean, you have Sergio Lerner. He's a really great developer of Bitcoin in Argentina. We have also some companies that have developed products on Bitcoin, for example, Rustock or Earthscape. And so I began talking to Adam Back. I mean, maybe 10 minutes. You know, when you have this kind of guy in front of you, you get to think, okay, what can I ask him? Because I mean, he's such a legend, a living legend. And so I spoke with him about what was his thought about the future of Bitcoin and how artificial intelligence is going to play. I mean, with Bitcoin, right? So this was like a yes, 18 months ago. And he said to me that, I mean, I don't know, but I know that Bitcoin is ready to survive every risk that can happen in the future. In the last couple of weeks, he spoke about quantum computing. That is another. I mean, maybe it's more like a black swan of Bitcoin than maybe artificial intelligence, right? So in terms of that, I mean, I guess that could be a more interesting topic to speak about with him. But in that moment, I only came up with the artificial intelligence. But I mean, the conclusion of that story that he's a really cool guy. I mean, he's really humble. And I try to encourage people to go to these kind of events. I mean, Bitcoin conference, but also the crypto conference around the world, because you get to see this kind of people. I had the chance also to speak with Vitalik Buterin a couple of times. A couple of years ago, I have a TV show in Argentina. So I interviewed Vitalik Buterin when he came to Argentina for La Bitcoin conference. That is a really huge conference here. I mean, he's more special, right? I mean, it's such a challenge to get Vitalik attention because he's kind of a different kind of people. But again, he was really cool. In that moment, it was 2022. I mean, the layer two landscape was growing. I mean, in that moment, when he was speaking about the future of Ethereum, he was speaking of behalf of the rising of, I don't know, Optimism, Polygon, Arbitrum. And in the last couple of weeks, he changed his mind. He said that maybe the layer two landscape is maybe it will be more push from Ethereum and not necessarily from new layer twos. So I guess sometimes Vitalik can be a little polemic about his texting and his posting in social media.
That's so true. Hey, what was the conclusion with Dr. Back and the conversation around AI and Bitcoin? Like, what did he said? It's ready for it. It can take all the threats, but what about the opportunities? Like, meaning, are robots going to be commercing using the Lightning Network and Bitcoin? I mean, to me, it seems almost inevitable, but I could be wrong.
No, I guess it's inevitable. I mean, in that moment, maybe almost 2 years ago, I mean, we didn't have probably ChatGPT and maybe OpenAI and all of that, right? I mean, maybe it was not that popular yet in that moment.
Got it.
So it was more exploratory. I mean, we didn't get too deep about the issue.
But you were thinking about AI even before ChatGPT.
I mean, I have been thinking in AI for a couple of years, but of course, when ChatGPT arrived, it was like, okay, I mean, this is what we were talking about. And now with Anthropic and I mean OpenClaw, everything explodes. And I agree with you that I guess that AI can strengthen Bitcoin because of the technology. I mean, because it's the native technology for the AI. So I guess not only in terms of use, but also in terms of energy. because you know that now we have a lot of miners that are also providing services to the AI industry.
Yeah, I've been following that trend as well. Hey, so I know I took a little bit of a detour there from at least my normal, schedule or whatever, but I enjoyed that. I think, by the way, I'm from Toronto, so I've known Vitalik since well before, Ethereum was a thing. Like they used to host all the events and
Great.
here in Toronto, and yeah, I was born right in front of my eyes. Like I literally saw them like coding it and getting excited about it, and I remember feeling like, just like what's going on here? Like this is quite different, unique. Like they're trying to create a number two to Bitcoin or whatever. It's like or a better version of Bitcoin in their eyes. And for all my skepticism, I gotta say though, I mean, just the fact that they pulled it off and they're still number two, and it's definitely captured the imagination of a lot of people, like just nothing but
Definitely.
credit. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna ask you, so growing up in Argentina, like what were you passionate about before tech or finance even entered the picture?
In Argentina, we are used to struggle with inflation. I mean, inflation is part of our DNA. I mean, we have had inflation issues for, I don't know, 70 years, 80 years. I mean, we have changed at least four type of currencies, four currency symbols. I mean, we have had Australians, we have had pesos, then pesos again, then pseudo coins. I mean, so practically every Argentinian knows about economics, politics, and finance. But finance is in terms of surviving, in terms of try to find a way to escape from inflation. So that is maybe the main issue that maybe generate that the adoption in Argentina is so big, because we are always trying to find a way to escape from our local currency. I mean, you know that there is a statistic that we are not proud of that, but Argentina is number 2 or number 3 in the whole world of holding dollar notes. I mean, actual physical dollars. We are number 2 or 3 in the world. So we love to hold dollars under the matrix, as we said, under the matrix. So when stablecoins came up, it was like the perfect solution. So you don't need to explain to an Argentinian in terms of you prefer to keep your local currency or you prefer to keep your money in dollars. 100% of the people will say, I prefer dollars. But the dollar has inflation and it doesn't matter. The inflation of peso is way, way, way bigger than the dollar. So that is why in Argentina it's so common to speak with people, and when you say to them, "Do you know anything about crypto?" Yes, I know. What do you know? Yeah, I had bought Bitcoin, I had bought Ethereum, and I had bought crypto dollar. Mostly is Tether, right? That is the number one stable coin. So that is why the crypto ecosystem in Argentina is so big. I mean, not only in terms of users, but also in terms of developers, in terms of startups, in terms of events. I mean, a couple of months ago, we had the Ethereum conference here in Argentina, and it was 10 or 12,000 crowd event. I mean, event. It was a lot. I mean, for a crypto conference, 10,000 people is huge. I mean, I have been in several conferences around the world, and it's not that easy to gather that many people. So Argentina is a big thing in crypto.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. So you spent over a decade as an innovation consultant.
Yeah.
What drew you into that world, and like what did a typical project look like?
Yeah, I mean, I had been in the innovation and technological development ecosystem for close to 15 years. Because when I did my degree, I mean, I had business administration as a degree, but I started working with technology transfer in 2006, 2008, 7. So what is that field? I mean, what I try to build is a relationship between the scientific system, I mean, the universities, the public laboratories, and the companies. In Argentina, there is no R&D units as per se. I mean, it's not that common to find. I mean, you don't have really big apartments that they are entitled to develop technology. So they had to look for consultants or look for the local scientific system that put money into develop, I don't know, new products, new pharma, or everything that is related to basic and advanced research. Because that is expensive. I mean, that can take 5 to 10 years. So that's, uh, I mean, generally, that kind of funding is made by the states. I mean, because you have to put money and to put money and to put money to try to develop new knowledge. So that money that is usually is part of an agreement with the World Bank or some banks, some multilateral banks, as you said. So in that kind of dynamics, what I used to do is try to make the connection. So, for example, my company was a pharma company, and that company had to build a new, a new pill, right? So they had to test that previously in laboratory with animals, with the rats. So that kind of infrastructure in Argentina, we have that in a public version. So what I did is, okay, let's go to that laboratory, let's run that test, then we can test that on humans, and then is go to the market. So my
Well,
focus, my main focus was that.
so I actually spent about 8 years as well working with mostly public institutions like universities, selling robots to them. I actually started my career doing that. But I was going to ask you, so what lesson did you take away from that? What did you learn about institutions and how quickly they move, or perhaps the opposite?
It's what I have pros and contras. I mean, in terms of pro, I mean there are a lot of there are, there are a lot of people that is really qualified to develop good knowledge for the country. I mean, we have really good basis in terms of research, in terms of public research. But in terms of the disadvantages that I found that eventually made me change my career, because I left that and moved 100% to crypto. That in terms of sustainability of this activity, there was an issue. I mean, because, for example, when I made a project with a company and a public scientific actor, Generally, I apply to a grant. Yes, in terms of a grant or a credit, right? But the economy in Argentina was so difficult that when the company received the money, it was already, I don't know, 20, 30, or 40% with less acquisition power. So it was so difficult to try to make what I put on paper to make that real because of the budget, because it was so difficult to try to maintain the same price of the equipment, of the consultancy services. It was so difficult. So I struggled that with the government and with the companies and with the local scientific actor. So I had enough. In a moment, I said, okay, that's enough. That's enough for me. I had to find another way to make my technological attraction or I mean hobby in terms of develop another kind of profession. So that's when I get to see the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper in 2018 was, okay, we had something different here. Maybe I can develop something new. And so 1 year from that moment, I had my aha moment and I changed my whole career from tech transfer to crypto. And third issue, I mean, the first thing that was related also to that decision is I went to Oxford in 2014 to get an internship in the university. And I saw there that the technology transfer market was huge, was working in another velocity. I mean, it was insane. So when I came back to Argentina with a lot of ideas, I realized that they weren't possible in Argentina. They weren't possible. So it was like, okay, if I want to work in this, maybe I should move to UK and work in Oxford, but it wasn't that easy also. So that is why crypto got my attention, because I actually get to see a technology that is applied every day in Argentina for something that is good for the people, that people benefit from that. And everyone that I get the chance to speak about this, they get it just like that. So that is what I love about the technology and what I am so into that in promoting, educating, and providing information about that.
So when you first tried to explain Bitcoin to your innovation clients or colleagues, what was their reaction?
At first, it was like, come on, but that is digital. I mean, and my first reaction was, okay, let's see. You said that this is digital, as it were a bad thing. How many of your groceries, of your expenses daily, you make with bills? I mean, no, you have a point. I mean, maybe 5% or 10% of my purchases are made in I don't know, in pesos bill, and the rest is digital. Okay, so it's not that different. I mean, it's digital. Yes, but the other issue is, how can I trust Bitcoin? Because there is no guarantee. There is no something that is related on. I mean, okay, so when they said that to me, I said, okay, what do you trust in pesos? Do you trust in the local currency? Yes. Are you sure? Are you saving money in pesos? No, I am saving money in dollars. Okay, but you know that the dollars is also produced by the US government, right? Yes. And if you want to intervene in the production of dollars. Can you do that? No, I cannot do that. But would you like to? I would like, yes. So when I said that a lot of people can make an intervention in the production of Bitcoin, they said, okay. So that is interesting. But the third issue is still the most difficult to beat. That is the volatility. That is actually the main issue about Bitcoin. For me, when I began speaking with people, it's like, but it's so volatile. Yes, it's volatile, but the volatility is not a exclusive issue of Bitcoin. I mean, if you see, I don't know, Micron action in the last couple of months, that is a AI company, the action rise 600% in just, I don't know, 10 months. So that is volatile. But it's an action. Okay, I show them the chart of the gold. I mean, the gold rise how much? 80, 100% in 1 year. And that is not volatile. No, yes, that is volatile. Okay, so what is volatile and what is stable? What can you name me one thing that is stable? So when I begin talking with this kind of approach, generally people get more convinced. Sometimes they choose not to do anything with crypto, but maybe most of the time they want more. So they want to get education, they want to get services, and but I guess it depends on how you approach the issue.
But do you find that like this space has this like double-edged sword problem where on one side Bitcoin, in my view, is like the North Star. It's this like pristine digital gold, right? Network effects, first to market, open source, like never been done before, censorship resistant. It's like amazing. But then as soon as we start talking, and by the way, I don't know if I told you this already, but I started India's first Bitcoin exchange, crypto exchange, and it's still in business 13 years later, which is the crazy
I,
part.
that's insane. I saw that on your resume. I mean, that's
Yeah.
such a
So
really
so
big thing.
I'm using that as a caveat to say that it hurts me to say this, but the word crypto is somewhat synonymous with, unfortunately, not with cryptography, which I wish it was, but it's synonymous with casino. And so to me, casino and digital gold are on either side of the like they're like on opposite sides of the spectrum of like, you know, like what is good for humanity. So how do you, I guess, reconcile that, like you know, that difference, right? I mean, I do it by just personally loving Bitcoin and talking about Bitcoin. And yes, I have interest in crypto and I have a business that, you know, where we're a crypto exchange. So obviously I can appreciate the innovation, but I don't know. It's just, you know, so much of it is though noise. Does this resonate or am I totally
Yeah,
off base?
no, definitely. I mean, it's we are used to get the casino, the casino name when you refer to crypto. I mean, yes, it's still typical, and some things help to develop that image. For example, in Argentina, last year we have an issue with the president. I mean, when he make some kind of promotion of a token, of course, you know what I am talking about, the Libra token. So that thing, of course, it was bad, uh, a bad precedent for a lot of people that was not involved in crypto yet. and that maybe they were thinking that, okay, maybe this idea of the casino is not uh, that true or realistic. And then the president made that move, and he he killed all that spirit. And so we are trying to rebuild the the positive issue about crypto, about Bitcoin in
But
Argentina.
but but I sometimes like, I mean, I know it's negative. I'm kind of painting a negative light, but I also kind of wonder, like, if I had to say one thing I'm a bigger fan of than Bitcoin, it's freedom.
Yes.
And so to some extent it's like, let freedom reign. But it was Trump that started all this, right? Like he dropped his own token. so
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't know. I mean, anyways, let's maybe keep moving on. I mean, I like I said, I love
no,
freedom, I love crypto,
yeah.
but I really love Bitcoin. That
I
my, like, to me, that I see that as like the 0 to 1, and everything else is like cute and fun and interesting, but nothing that makes me, you know what I mean, enamored. Again, I see it all as like experimental and interesting, but Bitcoin seems like this true, like, okay, when you're talking to them from Argentina, they want to protect against inflation. Well, you're
yes.
going to tell them about Bitcoin. You're not going to be like, hey, there's this new coin that came out last week. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I mean, but Sunny, in maybe in countries that are less developed, like in Latin America, you get to find a lot of countries that we are like in the second or the third world, as the people call it. I mean, people people are eager to make money fast. I mean, they need to generate more money to escape from inflation and from poverty, right? So that is why a lot of Ponzi schemes occur in Latin America, because it's easier to hook these people. I mean, to deceive these people, because they need to get more money. Um, so, but if we don't focus on that, my conclusion about this in these last 8 9 years that I in the crypto industry is that not as many people as you would think care about freedom and about privacy. Because when you speak with people about freedom, uh, I don't know if they really appreciate that, because in Argentina we are used to have to ask permission to buy dollars, for example. I mean, we are really used to do that. I mean, if you want nowadays, in the last couple of years, we don't have that. But in the previous 10 years, if you were interested in get dollars, you only get, I don't know, $200 per month. You only get permission, $200 per month. So when I speak with people about the Bitcoin thesis, they get it, but sometimes they don't see the importance of freedom. It's like, I mean, I know that I can only buy $200, so that's okay for me. I mean, I am used to do that. But I guess the major issue is that they don't care about privacy. I mean, to actually be the owner of your data, of your money, I don't think that is going to be a massive interest.
hmm,
That is what I have seen in the last years,
yeah.
um, because people doesn't care about giving
It,
their info in the social media or
it,
their money. I mean,
Inaki, I kind of like lost track of time. I just realized we only have a few minutes left. Do you want to tell
yes.
people a little bit more about Crossing Capital and kind of like your vision there, and maybe tell people also like, you know, where your website is and where you share your thoughts. And I'd be happy to do like a part two. I only got through maybe half my questions. So
That's
we can
okay.
maybe do another one next week or something. But yeah, do you want to maybe tell people a little bit more about what you're doing like today?
Yes, yes, of course. I mean, our website is crossing that capital. That is our website. So, I mean, we don't have customers in US. That is also a thing. I mean, we only provide services from Mexico to Argentina and Spain. But I mean, we welcome every people that is listening and watching this episode to have a meeting with us. I mean, we have a free meeting to analyze the interest of this person, this candidate. Where is he from? What is their experience, and what is their expectation about the investing? I mean, in digital assets, because uh, we have to know about their history, if they invested or not, if they think that they are going to be a millionaire or no, because when we have that kind of talk, I mean, we have to educate people also in that first meeting, because as we see, the when people invest in crypto, they have to think about crypto as any other market. I mean, you have to invest in with a long-term vision. You don't have to look for short-term profit or extraordinary profit, because if you do that, eventually it's going to be as we said, a sum zero result. I mean, because yes, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose in the short term, but in the long term, and you know that when you have Bitcoin on your portfolio, you eventually win. We trust that will continue, because every technology that is putting the actual technologies in risk, crypto or Bitcoin and some cryptos may strengthen with that. Maybe, I don't know. The quantum computing now is being it's on the spot now. But when you speak or when you listen to the experts, they said 10 years, 20 years.
Yeah, it still
Um,
hasn't. It hasn't had its ChatGPT moment.
exactly. We have plenty of time. So it's a good idea to invest in Bitcoin in the long term vision.
Absolutely agree. Inaki, thank you so much for your time. Thank you all for tuning in, and for everyone else in the future as well that's checking this out. Until next time, bye bye.
Thanks.